All right, welcome back to AdobeLive.com. I'm joined here for the second slot in the day 2 of this Adobe Live stream on live lettering with Martina Flor. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah? How do you spend your day in Paris today?
It was great. I love Paris. I'm walking around the streets like with a smile on my face.
Okay, even though it's raining outside.
Yeah, it's really great. I love the city.
Smiling in the rain.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I know that here is way warmer than in Berlin. I just saw some pictures and it's really snowing, so yeah, it was the right moment to come here.
Great. So yesterday with Martina, we spent the 2 hours really sketching out her idea for a lettering that includes the word love.
Yeah.
Right. And we went through a few iterations.
Yeah. Sure.
Maybe we can have a look at them. Let me see if I can go over here to your to the GoPro. There we go. Perfect.
So.
And let's just have a quick look again at what we did yesterday.
May I pick this up or?
Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. You are in control.
So yesterday I was, I started by doing, by sharing my process, and I show first some sketching or thumbnail sketching, I call it, on my notebook, and then I show how I did a copy out of one of those thumbnails, and from this copy that you can see here, then I started doing a couple of iterations into with tracing paper. So here is some of the layers I've been working on. So on every iteration, let me put this here.
Yeah, if you want to have a closer look on my Instagram, RufusD, there's the whole series of sketches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I try to keep it, for this demonstration, I try to keep it organized. So I, I number every layer. I did my homework, and then together with the chat of and the people who was watching, I was working.
By the way, hello chat. Yes. Hello everybody in the chat.
So I had some ideas on. Let me show you a step before this one. So I had some shapes I was working with. This sort of chubby, rounded letter shapes, and then I thought of adding some sharpness to it and some how did you call it yesterday?
Depth.
Yeah, or these cutouts that we
have
the
little thorns or feathery effect or furry effect.
Yeah, exactly. It was very feathery before, so I went from this sketch to the next iteration, which was this one, which looked very feathery and very fluffy, some people said, or and then from this iteration I went on to this one.
This is a new one, right?
Yeah, this is like a more, an improved one from the one we ended up yesterday with. It doesn't look from my perspective, it doesn't look fluffy or feathery anymore. It has some sharpness to it. It's still kind of gentle and chubby, and it's all more compact. You can recognize the heart a lot more than yesterday.
Yes, because in some sketches we were starting to lose the heart shape.
Exactly. So I'm quite happy with it right now, and I feel I'm ready to draw it in vectors,
to draw it in vectors. So to draw that in vectors, we're gonna do it very old school. We're gonna ask Michael here to go scan it, and Michael, why don't you just email it to Martina? I think that's the. Do you have your?
No, because you can show.
Ah yes, okay. Yes, perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
I would like to share. Yeah, actually, let me explain. We were thinking of how to do it, like whether we take a picture or we scan it. I think taking a picture is really useful. I think scanning it is anyways like a good way of keeping a high res, file of your sketch. So we'll scan it, but you can always, you know,
All
if
right.
you want to do it
So if
faster.
you remember a few months ago, I was the scanning boy. So I was like running back and forth from the scanner. And today it is actually Michael doing that. So yes.
That's great. Okay.
Let's go back to the big screen here. And let's chat a little bit about, you know, about maybe your career in lettering and the other things that you do. I see a lot of people in the chat are actually, you know, have seen your tutorials on various platforms.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
you have some on the name escapes me now.
Yeah, well, I have some classes on Skillshare, and I have also some classes in Spanish language on Domestika.
Yes,
those-
Domestika.
yeah.
Yes.
And well, I think just teaching is like a big part of my work. So I do my private workshops, or if I don't know, I travel to different cities and I give workshops. But I also found out that, you know, having an online class, it's a good way of reaching a bigger audience, maybe an audience that you wouldn't reach with the workshop. So yeah, it's a big part of my work, and I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
And you also have a book in the works, right?
Yeah, it's actually, out. It's out in German language.
In German?
And it's coming out in English in April.
In April, all right.
So, and I think later on in the summer, in the European summer, it's coming out in Spanish. So I'm really excited about that. It's really a lot of work because most of the book is made by hand. So there's a lot of hand sketches, and I even use my handwriting to do that, like to explain stuff. So, you know, doing a translation in several languages implies me writing the things over and over in different languages and stuff. It's some extra work, but I'm really excited about it.
And the other thing that I wanted to point out to everyone here in the chat is that there is also a new store, a store on martinaflor.com. And if you go there, do you have the pin today? No.
I don't have it today. That's
no
true.
pin.
Yesterday I had.
Yesterday you had this pin, I think.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. I had the ampersand.
So basically, you've migrated your 2D work into the 3D world.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about, you know, being a lettering artist nowadays is that most of the work, or at least in my case, like most of the work I do is a digital file. So I deliver a digital file, and then someone else is. Thank you, Michael.
All right, Michael just came back with the scan, and I think an email just arrived for me. Yes, so let me just go back to the big screen here. All right, while I check my email.
Okay, sure.
Let's see. Okay, here we go, and I'm gonna save that image.
Great. So you're gonna share that with me
via a Creative Cloud library.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
Let me see. I'm not sure. Yeah, could you?
All right, let me see here. If I've got the image.
You have a couple of things open.
Yes, but I'm gonna do everything from here. All right.
Wait, I help you with that because
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I got it.
All right, we're, and then I will need to share it with you. I will need your email. Is this something that you share, or is this something we should keep secret while I put your email?
No, it's fine.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to write it down somewhere for me, or you can just say it to me when we're ready. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do with this file that Michael just handed me, I'm going to go over here to my screen for a second. I'm here on adobe.com, which immediately recognized my my profile. I can manage my account from here. I can access all of the things of Creative Cloud, and I think this is a very good way to see what's all the stuff that is in Creative Cloud, with the photos, fonts, colors, stock illustrations, photos and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go to my libraries for a second, and I'm going to create a new library. Okay, so basically I have all of my libraries here, and let me just create a new library, which I'm gonna call Martina Flor. Okay, create the library. Open that library, and then I'm simply going to add. Let me just go in here and add an element to that library. All right, so let me see if I can quickly go over here, take that JPEG that I have, and actually drop it in here. Ah, no, it doesn't. Oh, wow, what happens here? I just got kicked out. Let me just go back. Adobe Live. Adobe.com. Go back into my library that I've just created.
Or you can open it in Photoshop.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's the best way. Let me just go to Photoshop over here. Photoshop. Open your file. Okay, so this is the scan that we have now.
Okay.
Is this, I mean, you can always like tweak it and make, do you want me to tweak it here in Photoshop?
Actually, we
at
don't
it?
need to do anything. Like,
Okay,
it's just
so the
basic.
gray is okay?
Yeah, it's
okay?
just fine.
Perfect. So basically, let me go to the library that I've created here, Martina. Let me go here in my library panel, Martina Flor. And basically, all I need to do now is to actually take that asset and drag and drop it into the library.
Okay.
Okay, and that's done already. Okay, and you see a little spinning wheel here that said, you know, I'm synchronizing. Okay, now it's synchronized. And from the menu here, I can go now and say to actually share that library. Let me just share that library. Where is this? Wait. Collaborate here. Collaborate. And this will actually open that library on the web. And all I need to do now, I need to enter your email address.
Sure. It's for, like, I have to give you like the address, the email address of my Creative Cloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't want to
no,
share
it's fine.
that, I can move away from the screen for a second.
It's just
Okay.
fine.
All right.
It's for F-O-R.
F-O-R. F-L-O-R.
No, F-O-R.
F-O-R.
For Martina Flor.
Flor.
At Gmail.
Okay. And I'm gonna invite you to that.
Okay, sure.
All right.
So I'm.
Boom. And then wait, I'm gonna invite you. Okay, perfect. And now I can see here that, you know, that it's waiting, it's pending your approval here. All right. But basically all I did is open that file in Photoshop, put it into a library that I then shared with you. Okay, so let's move over to your computer.
All right.
And this is it. Yes. And
so it's
see
hard
what's
to,
happening here.
Look at my screen right now. Is it possible to move it? Like,
To move it like this.
yeah, like that is perfect. I get.
like-
Yeah, that's all. So, well, let me just create a new file over here.
The size you want. What size are you going to be using?
I think I'm gonna work with, you know, A4. In Europe, we work with
A4, yes.
with the DIN format.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty good size to, you know, to draw simply, because also you can print things out and, you know, have a quick test whether that's working or not, or how that, you know, your drawing looks in print.
And plus we're going to be
so-
working in vectors anyway, so it's...
Exactly. Yeah, you can always scale it.
All right, so
So I have my file over
Okay.
here.
let's go to your libraries.
So
You see the grateful icon?
over there, yeah. Ah, okay. So
So there's a little thing on home. Go to sync files. That's done.
if I go down, or
No.
all right. See, view invites.
View invites.
Okay.
Let's see. You have no more requests.
All
Okay.
right.
So is it the same animation?
Yeah.
Let me see in there. Yes, click.
Oh, here, one invite.
Oh, one invite. There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you can accept it.
Yay.
Perfect.
Go back to
So basically, I've yes. And if you go back to Illustrator now
All right.
and open the Creative Cloud libraries,
So right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it is now going to sync. All right. And
So here I
Martina
have
Flor, here we
the
go.
shared
All right,
library.
and there's
All
your
right.
picture.
Wow.
How easy was that?
Yeah, really easy.
And the cool thing is that I can continue to work on that image, like maybe changing the contrast or cleaning it up or something like that while you're actually doing something, and then you can update it, and you can there's a really collaboration that can go on here.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So then I just drag and drop it
Yeah.
on my file.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Boom.
All right.
Done.
That's great. Okay. So I'm gonna place this in the background.
And hello, chat, everyone. I've been ignoring you for the past 15 minutes almost. Like we were so focused on getting this thing scanned and shared via library to your Illustrator, and it all worked out. So where are you guys from? In the chat. Maria Manger, yes, it was super easy.
So I'm trying to rearrange the the sketch on the page.
Yes.
Just to see how it looks and where do I want it to be placed and stuff. So I just, normally I would put like the sketch as a background, and I will normally also put the opacity down, which I cannot find right now.
Do you change the layer sometimes to a tracing layer?
Never done this.
Never done this?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go in the layers panel,
Yeah.
if you control click on the layer,
All right.
control click, oh, nothing's happening. So it must be in the menu. Let's see, and it says template.
All right.
All right, and then it grays it out and
Okay.
it locks it, and it's just there.
That's great. Okay, I didn't
So you
know
don't
that.
even need to lower the opacity.
Oh my god.
You can simply draw over it. It's just like tracing paper.
Lowering the
It's
opacity
just like,
all these years.
like this, yes.
All right, then what I would be basically doing is to work in layers like I was doing with the tracing paper. So it's I'm replicating the same process in a digital environment. So yeah, I have my drawing in the background, and then I just start I always use the pen tool.
Yes.
So what I would be doing is to redraw the whole thing. For this, I don't know what the guys were using in the previous streams. I think Charlotte was also working with extreme points yesterday. With extreme points, she was also using the pen tool.
Yes.
So I guess many of you people in the chat are familiar with that technique, but I can just give some insights on that.
Yes,
technique.
of course.
So basically, is working with extreme points is the way to go when you're drawing letters.
What is that? What do you mean by extreme points? Because this is a terminology that I've never heard before.
Yeah, well, there's a very easy way to explain it, which is like if you take the ellipse tool in Illustrator and you draw a circle. So you will see that your circle here has, if you select it, you will notice that it has 4 points, right? So 2 of them are on the vertical axis, on the extremes of that circle.
Okay.
That's why they are called extreme points.
Okay.
And 2 of them are on the horizontal axis. So basically, ideally, all your shapes will be drawn with either this vertical extreme points or this horizontal extreme points.
Yes, I think we talked about that yesterday with keeping all the Bezier lines, all the Bezier handles constrained to
exactly. Yeah,
to 90 degrees at that point.
Yeah, and because if you look at this curve, for instance, here that I just selected, you will control that curve either by moving that handle, or that point and that point, and that's it. You just need to control those points. Whereas if you add points in between, then to edit that curve, you have to, move a lot of points and handles, and it will never look really good. So you have to try to ideally keep as few points as you can when you draw a shape.
That's a good rule of thumb.
And to keep the handles, the last tip with this, to keep the handles straight, you just press shift, and then you can move the handle without it with the handle staying on the horizontal or vertical axis. Yeah. So I will use this technique to redraw what I have here on the sketch. So I will first redraw the whole thing and then reaccommodate the points and stuff to get the shapes right. I mean, this is just
that takes a lot of discipline, right? To get these points always in.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in the beginning, this technique seems like hell. It's like you don't know where the points are. You don't know exactly where you should place them and stuff. But once you nail it, and it's in your head, then it's just the way to go. Like, there's no other way to do it. So it's just after a while, you get used to that, and it goes smooth.
Have you ever used the curvature tool? I think we looked at that with Charlotte yesterday.
You mean that, let me just...
It's a new tool that's, a newer tool, let's say, that's right next to the pen tool.
That one?
Yeah.
No, I never tried that. Let's try it.
Yeah.
So, how do you work with that?
Start with the pen tool.
Yeah. So, and then I click the next point, and then all right.
You see, it gives you a more visual sense of how the curve will be.
All right.
But I don't want you to lose time with that now. But I think it's a tool to investigate, because there's also shortcuts there.
Yeah.
But then I think maybe you might lose this 90-degree angle discipline that you set to yourself.
Could be. But I will definitely investigate this. What I discovered, a year or more than a year ago, but which I still find really cool, is this tool that, turns corners into rounded shapes, like, that tool where you just select and...
Yes.
I love this.
Yeah.
This takes a lot of time. I was doing this with extreme points every time on every detail, and now you just have that.
Practice. That's right, Damien. Yeah. The pen tool is a difficult one, but it's I think it's a very important tool, because not only do you have it in Illustrator, you have it in Photoshop, you have it in InDesign, you have it in any application that actually does vector art. So I think it's an important tool to learn.
Yeah, I think it's the tool that helps you control the shape as you want, and so I'm turning this into black shapes just to get an idea of how it's looking. So I think it depends a lot on the work you're doing.
Yeah, somebody just walked in when you were actually making the corner rounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can show that again, like at another stage.
So I can just show it here, like, you know, before maybe a shape like this, you know, if you want to turn this very sharp angles into something rounded, then you just click on the point and you drag this little white dot over there, and you can choose you know,
the corner points,
the corner that you want to have, either that's the diameter smaller or bigger, but that's pretty useful.
Yeah, Grafissimo we just did. Yes, I think the pen tool is the most precise tool in all of the applications. You know, there's many different tools. You could maybe auto trace it, or use the pencil tool, and like there's many different tools that, you know, you could use to do that. But I think the pen tool is really the one that gives you more how can I say, precision.
Yeah, I mean, there's lettering artists, like for instance Will. He was you know, he was making a drawing by hand, and then digitizing the whole drawing with, I think, with auto trace. Is that right, Michael? In the previous session. So he wanted, like, he was using auto trace because he wants to keep this handmade look. But if you want to, you know, have a control on all your shapes and have a neat finish, then you need to.
Yeah, it's called image trace now.
Image trace. Okay, image trace. Yeah. So, but in a project like this, where I want to have control on the shape, if I use the image trace, it will just add a lot of points that I don't need. That it's.
So that's a cool question. Are you using any shortcuts while creating the shapes for with the pen tool? Yes, because you always.
Yeah, like, I am. Let me think what I'm doing. Like, it's actually I'm using the shift a lot
to get the constrained angles to the Beziers. Yeah.
And I'm also, like, for instance, right now I'm clicking Alt and dragging, you know, clicking on the point and dragging, just to have a broken corner, a corner there. The same here. I'm clicking on the point with Alt key, and then dragging to get a handle out of that point. I don't know if that
so basically pressing the Alt key turns a rounded Bezier into a corner Bezier.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, James, it works a little bit like the Convert Anchor Point tool in Photoshop. There's also a Convert Anchor Point tool in Illustrator. But, you know, instead of converting the anchor point, you can do that straight while you're drawing it using the Alt key. Good point. Alt key for the win, Justin. Yeah.
So what I was saying yesterday, that, you know, like working, drawing letter shapes in vectors moves slow, and that's why you can see now that it moves rather slow. Like I have to draw every shape individually and stuff. So,
but it's like Zen. It's like meditation.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you have to like it. Yeah, if you like it, you will enjoy it. And it's, you know, definitely like the joy is in getting the shapes exactly as you want them, you know, in this process of iterations where you get the shapes, you know, neat and nice how you want them.
Yeah, so Trevor is saying, I would imagine that you could save time if you duplicate some of the shapes and then change the Béziers. But I don't think there's so many similar shapes in this drawing. Well,
that is true. I think I will show you that because I actually thought of that. But drawing every one of this drops I'm drawing doesn't take so long. But also, look, if I take one of this, for instance, and I try to reposition that somewhere else. So I want to, draw this one. So I'm gonna copy that one and rotate. Wait.
Oh,
wait, I'm gonna save the file. I'm gonna save the file. Okay.
I love oi. That's.
So this is my way of organizing files. So I put the date and then Adobe live stream. Okay. So I'm saving the file. So I was rotating this shape, So when I rotate this shape, then the anchor points are no longer
they're no
in the
longer,
extremes.
yes.
So and also look at the look at that shape. Whereas here it looks quite rounded. Here it starts to look funny, right?
Yes.
Like a whale or something. So when you rotate a shape, you need to adjust some things. And now the anchor points are in weird places. So I just rather draw it with extreme points. Select it.
Oh, Paul Trani is in the house. Hey, Paulie, how are you today? Paul Trani is on our team as well. You can see him stream a lot on Facebook and YouTube, all of the Adobe channels. And Terry White joined us in the last session, so the only person that's missing is Jason. Jason, you should join us too. Yeah, Paul, maybe you can like contact Jason and say, hey, me and Terry went by the Paris stream and where are you? This I was very curious to see which approach you were adopting to create the letters. That's something interesting to mention. So I'm gonna draw the L right now. So what I normally do is to the strokes are continuous, like the loop of the L over here. I draw them as continuous shapes. Yes,
so,
because somebody else might have, made a corner point there and then gone up.
Exactly.
Do the shape like that. But that makes total sense.
Yeah, and also you are using less anchor points, which is always great. And you can always cut the shape later on.
See you, Gert. Thanks for joining us today. Well, Sonich Touch, you wish you could work this fast. It's all a matter of practice. Practice, practice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, and I have to say that with the time, the first redraw that I do, like this one I'm doing now, it looks much better than the ones I used to do. Now, before there was like it looked really crappy in the beginning, and then I would have to work a lot to get it right. And now, the first redraw already looks kind of decent. But I have to say as well that the work keeps developing into the digital drawing. So I bet there's a lot of things that I have in my sketch that I will reconsider later. So I almost have my L.
William is asking, do you work exclusively with a stylus?
Yeah, but I actually use the stylus as a mouse, so it's I don't do any like.
Yeah.
No, it's like I just use it as a mouse. So yeah.
You used the trackpad as mouse.
Did I? Yeah, that's true. I used the trackpad. That was pretty shameful.
Oh no.
Yeah, but no, actually, there's people. I have colleagues that actually work on the trackpad and they draw letters on the trackpad, and that's really comfortable. But yeah, I just use the pen because it's comfortable to me. But you could do it with the mouse. So here I just I have my L. There is some something here that I will cut out. So this is not supposed to be there. I'm gonna join this shape over there. So, well, it needs readjustment, but I already have a letter.
Yeah, I like that. It almost looks like a little bit of a reflection.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think also like when you trace everything, or when you translate your drawing into digital vectors, everything looks really sharp. So you start seeing things differently, and you start reconsidering whether those thorns should be a little bit thinner or thicker, or so let me think how I draw this shape. Okay, I'm gonna do like this.
Well, Chris, that's a good question. Why not use the pencil tool? But in Martina's workflow, it's very important for her to have the Bezier points like constrained to 90 degrees, so you will only see them horizontal or vertical. And the reason she's doing that is because that also gives consistency to the roundness throughout the illustration, because roundness can be different, as we've just seen with an object that was duplicated.
So something else I try to do when drawing a lettering piece in vectors is to try to keep the shapes separately. So whereas this O and this V are connected in the drawing, I would just try to keep them disconnected, so I can later on make changes of spacing and shift the shapes to the right or the left, and it gives me a bit more flexibility. Well, these are all things that I do. Maybe some others don't find it useful, but things that I've learned on the way.
Yeah, we'll look at another join at some point, right? Because you're going to be joining. Is there another letter that overlaps? Because people were fascinated by how you took the overlap from the letter L,
Oh yeah, let me think if there's another one that overlaps.
The E maybe? No.
This
no.
one, no, because there's no real loop like here. No, guys, there's no overlap. I'm sorry.
No, there's no need to worry about lines overlapping. Zoom on. Kevin is asking, first of all, complimenting your work. Thanks for sharing your skills as an artist. It's a pleasure. My question is, once finished the piece, will you add texture in Photoshop to it or things like that?
Yeah, normally I would. Well, it depends on the kind of artwork I'm doing. If I'm doing something that I know it will be printed in offset and on a certain type of paper or whatever, like I will probably add some texture to it because if the production technique is sort of plain, then I tend to add some depth and texture in digital. But if I know that I will be doing a print for silk print or something like this, then the approach will be different. So there won't be any texture or shadows or but as it's crazy because although most of the work is digital, I try to there's a lot of work, or a big part of the work is to make that piece look not so digital. So when you're having some sort of 3D or some sort of some 3D effect or whatever, you will try to blend it into something that looks a bit more realistic.
And little by little, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Another tip, like if you have a handle that is too long, like this one, then you can just press Command, click on the, let me zoom in. So you have a handle that is too long, like that one over there. So you press Command and you click on the handle and you drag that handle.
While the other point is still selected and you can continue drawing.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Command key, the Alt key. Any other key that you're doing there? The Shift key to constrain the Bezier handles.
Exactly. But it's basically those keys and Control Z, and that's all. The drawing part is pretty basic. The tools you need or the tools you will be using from Illustrator. But then I think it is a pretty good tool to then incorporate texture because you can work with layers. You also have shadow effects and but I think in the beginning it's quite cool to focus on the letter shapes, work in black and white, and get the shapes right, and because it can be sometimes really easy to to want to move into the effects and all the texture, which is really fun because everything transforms really fast, but then you do a lot of work on some shapes that are maybe not there yet.
Basically the Alt key is to break the Bezier handles that are like that and to break them to make corner points.
Exactly. So if I have these Bezier points that are right now in one line, if I press the Alt key, then you will have this plus sign on the next to the
cursor.
The cursor, yeah. And you can just break that point and turn it into a corner point, like there.
Christy says, I think it would be easier for Martina if she disables the smart guides. The cursor keeps snapping and there is no need. Did you notice that? Sometimes they appear, the smart guides. When you're
yeah,
drawing.
I think so. I think I have them activated, but okay. I think it's easier also for the screen, right? Sort of makes it crazy. But I think I just got used to that with the time, and just don't see them anymore.
Yeah, because the secret of Bezier curves is really the fewer points you use, the better the result.
Yeah. The more control you have on the shape.
Robzilla in the house. Hey, Rob. Rob is a great artist that works a lot with the iPad.
All right. Also in hand lettering or
Illustration.
okay.
Yes, Bezier comes from the name of the... it's a mathematician, I guess. Bezier. A French, of course. Like Michael says, of course. La curva Bezier. Junancho Sanchez. Can you say it in Spanish? Bezier?
La curva Bezier. Actually, yeah, it's the same basically.
It's a French engineer. That's right, Craig. Martina is a pen tool master for sure.
From the 21st century.
Yeah.
He died in 1990.
All right.
Yeah. I was expecting something.
And this was actually the basis of PostScript printing as well. And the reason Illustrator exists is because John Warnock and Chuck Geschke wanted to enable people to actually draw PostScript.
I just waited in the 50s.
So Bezier in the 50s? Okay. Huh?
I'm just wondering, do we have the chance to print this out somehow?
Yes.
Okay. We might want to do it at some point. Just to
Okay,
have an
so
idea.
you look at it? Okay.
Yeah, because I think sometimes, well, it happens to me that sometimes I work on the screen and then you can zoom in, zoom out, and
Yeah.
you don't know exactly how big things are. You
Yes,
know?
that's a very good idea. Very good point. We
So-
will make it. We will make that possible.
Okay, that's great.
We are, after all, in the Adobe offices, and there should be a printer somewhere, right, Michael?
So. Yeah. So.
Thank you, Samuel. I can't read Portuguese, but
So I nailed the first big
yeah.
chunk of shapes.
Yes.
I would say like I have some other things to work on here, like this dots over there, and this you know, these highlights on the side of the letters, and I'm thinking that perhaps, you know, these elements I have to add over here, like these rounded elements. I was thinking that maybe I work with symbols. So instead of just creating new shapes for each one, I would just create a number or
very smart.
5 symbols or something. So if I want to change it later on, it would change it all over the piece.
Yep.
So what I would basically be doing here is like, so symbol is like you create a single shape, and that becomes like a symbol.
Yes, a symbol. And basically every other time you use it, you're actually not drawing the points, you're just referencing this one symbol.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a module that you can use several times. So I will just you know, add a little feature to that. So so this will be my new symbol, and I will just go to the symbol library and add symbol. So that's the dot number 1, and that's gonna be a graphic symbol, and it will be dynamic, and that's it. So I have my symbol there, and if I want to use it somewhere else, I just, you know, drop it and drop it again. You can also copy paste it. So I'm gonna create another one that is similar but not the same. Maybe smaller, maybe having this edge somewhere else.
Yeah, that's right. David Hall says you could also use the library. You could put these dots in the library.
In the library where you shared.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and then use them as a reference. But
okay, that's true.
But I think I like the symbol workflow. I think it works really well here.
I could actually
you simply drag and drop the object into the library.
And I could actually use that object in other artworks
yes, also,
that I do.
yeah.
Okay. That's that's a good idea.
Yes, Christy, the symbol strategy reminds you of Flash, and basically, yes, it actually comes from there. The idea of repeating it.
You actually have the, you know, in Flash you would create a movie clip, if I remember correctly. So, and here it says actually movie clip. You know, it gives you the option of movie clip.
And you have the same, what's the name?
The 9 slice scaling.
Yeah.
Oh, this is too pro for me. So dot. Look, you see, you have movie clip or graphic. I don't know what you could do with movie clip over here.
To respond to Flash.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm creating just one symbol more, and that's,
yes. Oh, giveaway in 5 minutes. We're going to be giving away a print of this love illustration by Martina. Yes. And while you do that, Martina, I will actually share this library with Michael as well. So basically all you will need to do is to drag and drop the illustration into the library, and Michael will be able to print it.
All right. That's good. Okay, let me just add this.
Yes. No,
this,
please do. I'm just doing this on my side here.
So. Yeah.
No, we want it full color on a t-shirt.
So I'm just quickly adding these highlights.
It's you? Oh, okay. Oh, and that's probably you accepting the invite, right? Joined, yes.
So with how many people can you share that library? Is there like a...
There is a limit, but it's
Okay.
a very high limit. So what you can do is actually make the library available.
All right.
And that actually is not a collaboration workflow. It's just that you share your library. It could, for example, brushes or symbols or things
Alright.
like that. And you can give the link to people, and people will then incorporate that library into their libraries.
All right. Yeah.
Okay? And there is no limit to that. The collaboration workflow, I think it's limited to 500 collaborators or something
Alright.
like that. It's really...
I don't think I have so
Yes.
many.
Gary is asking, are you a fan of the width tool for altering these lines, for example?
I'm not sure what he means with the width tool.
Okay,
maybe
if you can make just one Bezier curve,
with that one?
yeah,
or
yeah.
okay. So
Just somewhere.
okay, let me put that. So I do curve.
And click. Okay, now you just put the fill color, remove the fill color, but give it a stroke. Okay, and now with the width tool, which is this one here, this one,
That one.
click this one, yeah, and then you can go on the line, and you start slowly dragging it out.
All right.
yeah.
Okay. I see it. So that gives a different stroke width,
Yes,
but also it has a ductus, right?
it has the.
Like a ductus, like it's not.
It's still
not,
one line.
It's not as like adding stroke, like a stroke.
No. It's still
value
one
here.
line, and you can change the line. You can change the
Alright.
stroke. And it's a good idea.
Yeah, actually, normally when I have to draw a line that has various thickness, I draw as a silhouette. So yeah, because it gives me more control again on the shape. But I think that could actually work for something what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I think that it could work pretty good. So I'm taking home a couple of tips here.
Well, David, we also have, if you come over to adobelive.com, there's a whole section for the replays. So you will find all the replays there. And all of you who are watching this live stream on YouTube or on any other properties like Twitter or Facebook, where it might be embedded, I invite you all to come over to adobelive.com because there we have a much fuller experience with the chat, with a link to our ongoing competition, which I'm going to be talking about in a second, and also a link to all of the replays of this specific stream.
So I'm getting this done pretty quick, just to have first redraw of the sketch, be able to print it, almost done. Yeah.
Right, Kelsey? It's turning out gorgeous. Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a first approach. There's a lot to do still in the shapes. Like, you know, if you look at, for instance, this shape over here, it looks very, I call it like potato-ish. So we will probably need to, you know, shift those anchor points or find the right length for those.
And at that point, get away from the original sketch.
Exactly.
Maybe we can just like look at the original sketch again in the background.
Sure.
And,
so I have. Let me see how that looks. Okay, it looks pretty good on the screen. So that's the original sketch. Let me deactivate that. And that will be the drawing.
Yeah.
Right? So
wow.
yeah, it's pretty great, like the first redraw.
Amazing, beautiful, awesome.
But yeah, I mean, normally in my case, I would you know, continue shifting the points and stuff. There's a lot of work to do after this, but you know, you have a basis there,
yes,
you know. So now maybe it's a good time to print this out.
Yes. Okay, so basically all you need to do is to select it.
So
select everything.
Let me first save.
Yes. Save in it.
Okay, I select the whole thing like this.
Go to open your library.
Library.
It was already there.
Oh, it was already okay.
And you just simply drag it into it.
All right.
Boom. There you go.
My
Done.
God.
Now Michael has it.
All right.
And I have it too. It's still. Oh, I already have it. You see?
Wow.
Yeah.
So and you have it as an A4
as vectors.
As you just have the.
I have it. I have it as the right size.
At the right size. Okay.
Yes.
So it. So if you place it on a file, it will place it in the same size.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So let me just. Oh wait. Let me just create a new A4. Let me just go like this. Maybe move to mine. Okay. All right, so basically I'm gonna do an A4 as well. So let's go to print over here, A4, and create that. And basically if I go into the library and just drag it over.
All right, you have it on the same size.
Yes, I have this same size.
Okay.
Okay, and of course now this is now grouped. Okay, but I can always go into the artwork with the direct selection tool. Oh, because it's linked right now. Yes, yes.
Okay.
But I can also say object. Where is it? I don't know. Expand. Where? I don't know what's happening. It's already done.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
This is live magic.
So do you want to go to the GoPro for a second?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it too big?
No, that's perfect. Actually, well, you know what? Yeah, what would be cool is to see it in vertical format, because right now we have it like this. But actually, yeah, like in yeah.
Okay, but we can already have a look at it with the GoPro. You're
sure.
on the GoPro right now.
All right. Let me take this like
Center?
this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's wait for the new print. But what I normally do is just to print it out, because I think, you know, having it printed gives you an idea of how big or thin or thick the things are. I can see now, for instance, that this line is too thin over there. You know, you can barely see it. So that one needed a little bit more weight. That one also there.
Oh, we have the new print already?
Yeah, we have the print. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, this will need more weight, so I just do like a plus sign. Also, I can see that, you know, this symbol, this detail that I created here is also fairly small, and also the detail inside it is very small, so I need to make the whole shape bigger. So there's a lot of things to change. Like this is too sharp over there. It's almost, you know, it's almost turning into a stroke, or a thin stroke. It's almost disappearing. I think there's some lack of consistency between these cutouts on the letter. I think, for instance, here is fairly big, whereas here is pretty narrow. Here is really, the cutout is really short, and here is very small, that cutout. So I have, you know, I can see now that I need to find some consistency between those cutouts, and, you know, find out whether they should be longer or shorter, and what works better. This cutout looks very funny right now. Like also it looks like I don't know, some animal, some
Laughing whale.
laughing whatever, yeah, or yeah. So I'm gonna improve those shapes. I think there's a lot of you know, I don't know what you guys think. Maybe you can give me an opinion, but I think, you know, the cutout on these drops looks much better when it's coming on the top of the curve than on the bottom of the curve, right? So here it looks also like some sort of animal thingy,
I like
you
the
know?
teeth, yeah.
Whereas here it looks much more, you know, it sort of goes with that, the flow of that shape. So I'm gonna try to make all those cutouts on the top of the shape, or on the top of that curve, instead of on the bottom, at the bottom. What else? I think the L, since it's a capital letter, could gain a little bit more weight overall. You know, it's a capital letter, it's bigger. It could have a bit more body over there, so I will try to change that. Yeah, what other things do you think? Actually, I'm open for
Everybody loves it. Looks nice. Good stuff. The different size cutouts, I believe, is what gives that design more character and more life. Yes?
Yeah.
The right side of the heart looks a little bit flat. The right side. Oh, here, maybe this.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. That's a good point.
Yeah, maybe we're missing something that fills the roundness there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the whole word needs to expand a little bit more, you know, to be a bit wider, so this whole thing sort of reaches the right side. Yeah, that's a good point. I see it now.
Yep, everybody thinks it looks amazing. That only you see the
Okay.
the inside of the L has a weird notch in the upper left side. Upper left side. So yeah, so maybe here. Yes.
Over here.
Maybe that curve. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it looks, you know, rather flat. Everything is sort of bubbly and soft and rounded, and here is like, you know, straight down. So it could, you know, that L could actually have some sort of like going back and then going forward again, you know, some sort of curve.
And William is saying maybe would no, actually not saying, it's asking, would a rounder E help maybe?
A rounder E, like a one that is like that, instead of this this double story E, or this is what you mean? Or the overall shape that it looks more rounder than it is right now?
In the counter.
In the counter, could be. Yeah, it looks pretty sharp, that one. I think we can, you know, if I look at the O, it has a rather oval shape. You know, the O is having a sort of oval shape, and if you look at the E, it's much more rounded here, no? Like it's much more like that. So maybe I could try to make it a bit softer, rounder. Yeah, definitely.
I think we should also do the giveaway now. We are way past due the giveaway.
All right.
So what I want you guys to put in the chat to win the giveaway, and remember that if you subscribe to the Creative Cloud YouTube channel, which you can do right here on adobelife.com and subscribe to the Creative Cloud channel, you have 5 times more chances to win in these giveaways. So subscribe first, and then you can give the right answer. And the question I'm asking you today is that you have to write down in the chat the name of the French engineer who invented the base of this illustration. The first name. The first name. Okay, Michael wants to make it very difficult.
It's a great illustration.
Yeah, it's a great illustration. You need to work to win a print. Yes. The first name of the French engineer. And then maybe in 10 minutes we can have a go have a look at what's happening over at the Adobe Live hashtag on Twitter. There's some things happening here. We'll look at it later. Okay. Okay. So we have a mix of names and first names. I said the first name. Ah, yes.
Got it?
Yeah, they got it. I like the ones of you who actually write a phrase with the word. You know, that's I appreciate the effort. All right. Rufus. All right, and we're gonna ask Nightbot, an automated system. We have no power over that, to choose a lucky winner of a print of this illustration that Martina is working on.
Okay.
And the winner is Anna Ostling. You have won the giveaway. So Anna, what you need to do is to pay close attention to the chat, because Michael will put in some information for you to reach out to him. And one thing that would make it super easy for us to find you is if you could put your Twitter handle right here into the chat. So we can find you on Twitter, and Michael will DM you instructions on how to claim your prize. There you go. Look at Adobe Creative Cloud. What is your Twitter nickname? All right, let's move back to, oh, your computer fell asleep.
All right.
So time to wake. Oh, you know what? Maybe the power is gone. No.
No.
Do you need
it's
power?
there. No, I think
Okay.
I don't need. It's enough.
Okay. Let me move back to your screen,
Sure. Yeah.
and boom.
So we actually have, I normally print something out and then I do some corrections there, and so I have like a in French is plan de route or something like this. So
a roadmap.
a roadmap for what's coming next.
But I like plan de route.
Plan de route.
Plan de route. Do you say that in plan de route? For roadmap? No.
Roadmap. No, right?
No.
Okay, so you have a plan
Yeah.
for what's coming next or what you're gonna do. So I'm, I do use layers a lot. So as I work in layers in the analog world, when I'm sketching, then I also work in layers on Illustrator. So I will just duplicate the work, and I will continue improving that, shaping, improving those shapes that I draw in the first run. So is there someone out there giving it a run to the Bezier curves in the chat? Is there someone like that is drawing?
We can have a look at the submissions in a second.
Okay.
You can invite them.
That's true. Yeah.
Invite them.
Yes. So, one way to share your lettering with Martina here today is to post to Twitter your lettering with the hashtag Adobe Live, and we will be reviewing those. We will be looking at the Twitter feed and finding these special tweets. And if you go over to Adobe Creative Cloud at adobelive.com, there is a contest tab. And that's where we have an ongoing contest over the 3 days. Yesterday was day 1, today is day 2, tomorrow will be day 3. And basically what we're asking you to do is to use Photoshop or Illustrator and create your best lettering artwork, and to share that with us on Twitter using the hashtag Adobe Live. And on Friday, Michael will announce 10 lucky winners of a 1-year Creative Cloud subscription. So be sure to participate and come over to adobelive.com to find out everything about that. There's also the chat, there's a schedule for the upcoming events of these 3-day streams. In about 40 minutes, we're gonna have Peter Kaiser with us again, and then later for the night shift we have Charlotte Smith coming back, and then tomorrow for the last day we will start again with Will Patterson, and then with Martina and Kaiser and Charlotte in that order. And basically, yes. Both Will and Charlotte are creating different illustrations each day, and we're very fortunate now to have Martina work on a very complex illustration over the 3-day stream. Like we started yesterday. Yesterday we did nothing else but sketch on paper. We didn't even open a computer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty
except
nice.
for except for streaming. Yes. Yes. Pardon? Oh, is he in touch with you?
He's shy because he doesn't want to prove.
Ah. Yes, over on Twitter.
Water?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, what?
Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't know the L could look better, but it.
Yeah, it does, and that was a good tip. I don't know who made.
Yeah, I don't remember
who
now.
made
Mhm.
this. Yeah, who highlighted this? But the thing is that in letter design, whenever you move something, then you have to reconsider other things.
Yes,
So
it's-
it's like now I have my L. It looks much better, but I feel that the O now is too slanted. So I feel that it should look a little bit more upright right now, don't you? Like so. If you look at the L, it's like leaning backwards,
Yes.
and then you have the O that is.
I see what you
leaning to
mean.
the
It's like
So I feel
taking
that
different directions.
exactly, and I feel everything should be like a little bit like not an umbrella, but a rainbow sort of. In a rainbow axis, so
Okay.
so you have the L that is leaning
Ah,
back,
yes,
so
yes, yes,
you have
yes.
the O that is a little bit more upright, then the V that
Okay.
is leaning forwards, and the E should lean even
Let
more
me
forward.
just check what the correct
Yeah.
word for that is,
Yeah.
because there is there's a type on path tool, and there's the different ways we can do that. And if I double click on it, it's rainbow, skew, 3D
Yeah.
ribbon, or stair steps. So basically what you're looking for is rainbow. Yeah.
It's rainbow, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to look at some of the submissions that we have on Twitter, Martina?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, let's have a quick move
Alright.
over to Twitter. Suck. Oh, you know what? I need to go. I'm not
Okay.
gonna leave your screen still on because I need to plug and replug here. All right, here we go.
All right.
So it all starts with your post, Martina.
Okay.
These are all the sketches that you did yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think this was the one that you had in your Moleskine, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sketches. Okay, and then you had this new one that we scanned today, and we moved to Illustrator. So let's see what people came up with. Hand lettering, Arabic, Adobe Live. Ah.
Well, it's
I
hard
always
to,
find it fascinating. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what it means, but
yeah, it's hard to judge, like also the dactys or the way calligraphy works for other scripts or languages is rather different. So, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's very difficult for us to judge like lettering that's not Roman.
Yeah.
I love Arabic lettering because it's so flourishing, and it's got all these cool shapes. And I appreciate the fact of the geometry in this lettering here.
Yeah.
But we don't know what it means. Okay. Yes. Kaiser is soon to be in the house. All right. So this is probably just drawn with the mouse using Illustrator and a brush. And a brush.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we inspire you, Yatsan. Let's see. Okay.
Not happy.
Using Adobe Photoshop and Adobe
Right.
Adobe Stock. Not happy with the H. I don't even see the H. Oh, what?
Hand.
Is this the H? Hand rocks.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, that would be a problem to
Yes.
to point out that it reads already something funny or different of what you wanted to read. So, and I think it's also like a concept to speak about here, maybe, which you use a lot in lettering, is the slant and the axis. Like all the letters seems to have it, respond to a different axis. They are all like sitting in different directions, so that's also sometimes like a cool thing to define at some point in your drawing, that is like whether they're all slanted or having this rainbow axis or
Custom letter made with the pen tool in Adobe Illustrator.
Pen tool. Okay, so it's drawn. Nice. There's quite a lot of work into adding shadows and making that volume look have shadows from natural lighting. I think that's
Logo design, but we're looking at type art, like, this is interesting with the repetition. Watching Martina Flor right now. Joy lettering was created in Adobe Illustrator.
I think that's a like already the joy is working pretty good. I think what is jumping out of the picture is this dot on top of the J, which I think you don't necessarily need.
You don't need that on a capital J. It looks like a capital J. Maybe not. No, it does look like a capital J. Like a normal J would like actually stop at the same height as the other letters here.
I think it could be like you could add some curl on the top of that J and turn it into a real capital J, and you can drop that point because it's also detaching from the lettering.
Oh, that's us.
All right.
Adobe Illustrator. Okay, very hand lettered by pencil, scanned by Capture. Okay, Adobe Capture, painted in Photoshop, colored and textured. Okay.
All right, that says
practice makes perfect. That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Adobe Sketch, Photoshop. Cool. Okay, that's also sketched on the iPad.
Okay. Okay, and that's some sketching, right? From Summon. Summon, okay.
Like these one line scripts.
Design for love. Interesting. I think there could be some little tweaks to make it a little bit more readable. I feel that the S needs, something else to. I mean, we know, like, we can reconstruct that it's saying design, but I think we, by adding a little, some other details to that S or an extra stroke, you can reconstruct that S better. Even like maybe you need a curve for that S.
I think the main takeaway for lettering and letter shapes is the more you remove, the more difficult it becomes to read. And when you design letters, you should always start with the full letter, and then you can take pieces and stuff out. But maybe you're right. This S is maybe a bit too much. It could be.
I think I think it's important to identify what's essential of a certain letter shape. Like, and the S, for instance, has this diagonal stroke, and it has this curve. So it has this roundness that you have to decide what to keep of that letter to keep it recognizable as an S. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I'm not gonna refresh the page. Let me just say Instagram, because people, let's see if on Instagram people have posted something.
All right.
And it is
Adobe Live.
Adobe Live. And the top posts, let's go down here, most recent. Okay. Let me know if there's something that strikes your...
Yeah, I think there's some interesting composition ideas. Yeah.
Let's open this one.
Yeah.
It's from Jules.
I think
Practicing
that's
flourishes.
You know, it's pretty interesting. Like, I think there's, you know, when you work in lettering, there's a lot to work about. In you know, there's a lot of work into getting your piece balanced. And I think what I meant, that we were talking about flourishing yesterday,
Yes.
which is something that a lot of people that start with lettering wants to do, but you know, they soon realize that it's really hard. As soon as you start adding flourishes and stuff, then they start either looking as another letter shape, or you know, they start making the whole thing very complex. And I think Jules in this case is working with it pretty good. I mean, the whole flourishing she's adding sort of keeps that lettering kind of compact, sort of balance, you know, and you can still read Jules.
Yeah, maybe the only thing that bothers me is
Yeah.
this flourish here that
Totally.
turns into a letter E before the J.
Totally.
So this is kind of confusing
Yeah.
because it looks like a letter form, like you just mentioned. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's very difficult to strike that balance between flourishes and letter forms.
Yeah.
All right, let's move back to your computer. Let's
Yeah.
wake it up.
Sure.
And boom. Let's get back to work on the love project. Thank you everyone for submitting your work. That's really, really cool. Yes, some very good designers watching. And of course, we will be reviewing artwork continuously, and in the next session with Kaiser, and then during the night shift with Charlotte, and again, of course, tomorrow. But that being said, I see people making mathematics on how many spots are to be won for the 10 Creative Cloud subscriptions. That has nothing to do with it. We're not extracting winners right now. Manny, you're just like Manny is just like deciding who's gonna be the winner. You can't do that. Yeah. They're saying these two things are good, so there's only 7 more Creative Clouds left. You know, no, stop the math. Hey, Will Patterson is here too. So when Will Patterson leaves the stream, he runs back to the hotel and turns on the stream. Do you do that too? Do you watch the stream?
Yeah, I do.
Yes?
I do. Well, yesterday the late shift, I actually I got, I think, right in the middle, and then I was done. I fell asleep. But
yes, and this is something that you mentioned before, is that, yeah, you keep all letters separated just to do that, really. I mean, you know, to tweak their position.
totally, yeah.
Imagine if these letters had been together, like in a single graphic, it would have been much more difficult.
Yeah, I think, you know, you will find your workflow with the time. I think then with the time you realize, okay, I can keep those shapes together, and those I better keep separated. And you have to find your way afterwards. But so now I made my O a little bit more lean backwards. So I think it's already working better.
Yes, totally.
So I'm gonna do I'm gonna take that advice that someone mentioned before of making that that the heart shape on the right side looked a little bit flat. So I'm just gonna take the whole shape and...
So Martina's using a Wacom bamboo. Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy, yeah. And as I said before, I really basically use it as a mouse. So it's just more comfy to work with a pen in my hand than with the mouse itself. But
it's also a lot less wrist movement, right?
Totally, yeah.
With the mouse, you do a lot of movement, like around the table or the mouse pad. This really, if you set it the way you want it just just your hand that can be moving.
That's true. And I noticed I recently had a problem with my tablet, and it wasn't working good and stuff. And so I switched to a mouse, and I realized how loud they can be. Like even the newest mouse are you can feel that you're shifting the mouse and everything. So I think the right side now it's looking much
rounder. It's actually good to have that screen.
Yeah,
right there.
It's actually good. I was looking.
I love looking at stuff from far away.
Totally, yeah.
It's like when you do painting. Like the trick is always to move 2 steps back from the canvas. To see,
So, and what else? I'm looking at my plan here again. So I wanted to change some shapes here. I wanted to change this whale looking shape.
Yes, Alejandro, Martina also speaks German, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you live in Berlin, so...
Yeah, I have no choice.
So Robzilla says, use a heart shape on a lower layer as a margin, just to really capture the shape. Huh?
Use a
heart shape. Do you think we need it, Rob? I think we can figure out the heart shape without a template.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have to say, guys, that I don't use metrics, and I use a lot my eyes. So the more you use them, the better they get into recognizing what looks good. And it's like the example I was showing before. Even when a curve looks good, when you rotate it, there's a lot of optical adjustment that you should do. So I trust my eyes a lot when I'm working, and even when they're when I can see that, or I created a circle that is perfect or mathematically perfect, I trust my eyes to judge if that shape looks good or not. So that improved. Looking again on my plan here.
And your drawn roadmap.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm also planning to, just for the record, I have, these cutouts lead to this very spiky shapes over here. So I'm thinking of make them softer Normally I will either, use the tool that I used before, this one that we were speaking about, like selecting the point and dragging that
the corner,
the wheel, whatever, the corner tool, and turn that point into something a bit softer. Something I do sometimes is just to turn, so let me add an extreme point here. So just to turn that point into something softer like this. So that looks already much softer than before, not so spiky. But still with some sort of sharpness to it. So I can do the same.
So it can hurt you but not kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's slowly coming together with the concept for the love print, right? Like this inspiration that we had in the beginning, which was like love is soft, but it can hurt. And so I did the same for the counter shape. Yeah, and that's already, like, if you compare that shape, those two shapes over there with this over here, it looks much more finished.
It does.
It does look much more like that you decided upon.
It adds a detail that I mean, it shows that you are dedicated.
Totally, yeah. So it's and it makes a big difference when you have it all over the piece, and So I have that there. Some overlapping happening here.
Go into your library a second. You'll find a surprise.
All right. Wait. Just give me a minute.
Because we created a shared library, and the library is shared with you, me, and Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael's been hard at work.
All right.
Yes.
So, okay. All right.
You can just drag and drop it into the canvas.
Okay. Okay.
And then you can delete it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to do this.
We need to do that. Absolutely.
Oh. Wow, this looks amazing. What do you guys think in the chat?
What do you guys think? Is that something for the Martina Flor store?
Yeah. Wow. I would love to have like different variations, like, pink on gray.
Just ask. Michael is hard at work there. He loves doing t-shirts.
Pink on gray.
Yeah, pink on gray, like this one. That's beautiful, I think. Well, what else? Surprise me.
You can just delete it.
Yeah.
But that's a cool thing, right? Because, like with a shared folder, we can all work together with the same elements.
That's cool. That's cool, really.
Everybody wants the t-shirt.
Me included. Okay, I'm just looking again at my plan de route.
We have 10 more minutes together today, Martina.
All right.
Oh yes, let's do the second giveaway in this specific session, and we will be giving away a 1-year Creative Cloud subscription. So hold your breath, and the question is, yes, write something nice that includes the name Martina. Let's do some Martina hype in the chat. PJ Castle is asking, do you use on-demand print t-shirt printers, Michael? Do you have any preferences?
I'm testing a new one.
Testing a new one.
I will let them know.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Martina is a lettering wizard. Martina is talented. Martina is amazing. Martina has mad typography skills. Great work, Martina. Martina is the bomb.com. She's the boss, and then it goes too fast. Martina is amazing. Do you feel the love? Do you feel
Totally.
the love
I can
from
see the
all
chat,
around the world?
You know, just
Yeah,
going
like-
through there, and it's like,
Like from the side of her eyes, she
Yeah.
sees the sun going up. And she feels the warmth, right? Coming from
Totally,
all over the
totally.
world. Awesome, guys. I think it's incredible to have seen Martina sketch on paper for 2 hours yesterday, and now in 2 hours create all of the vectors necessary to make this piece work.
yeah. Just for the record, I think it's you know, like although you might see, then you think like, okay, it already looks good. We saw it on a t-shirt, and you know. And you know, it depends a lot on your standards and how you want this piece to look. And as I was just saying, like you know, the details that you can add to this piece, they make a big difference. And I think even when you know, in the first run, you can say, okay, that's already looking decent. Then I think you can take it.
The
Step
extra,
forward
yeah,
and,
absolutely. And we expect nothing less from you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't expect nothing less. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work to do after this, but you know, you have something already. I have my plan here, and I'm gonna just keep on.
Because that's also very interesting, is that we actually printed out the work so that we had that, so that Martina had actually something. Material to look at, and it's full of little sketches, and it's actually funny little animals with teeth. I should take a picture of that.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, you know, to because when you're working in the piece in an Illustrator, then you're just, you know, zooming in and focusing on a very small part of that work. But if you have a plan printed and you have you know already what you want to do and what you want to change,
And you know that in Illustrator until recently you could zoom in at 640%.
all right, yeah,
Yeah. Now you can zoom in to 64,000%.
let me do that. 64, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you can
So-
go into full detail of these little spikes.
Yeah, totally, exactly. So yeah.
Oh, Ryan Stocky. Ryan Stocky, you're the winner of a 1-year Creative Cloud subscription. And what you need to do is contact Michael Shays, M. Shays on Twitter, or to make it super easy for us, if you put in your Twitter handle right here into the chat on adobelive.com. That would be awesome. So congratulations, Ryan. We'll be in touch if you be in touch.
Yeah.
It has some garnishes. T-shirts.
Oh, okay. Variations
Okay.
of the t-shirt. Okay.
All right. Let me just. Wow. Wow. You have to, you know, we have to send this to print or something. The gray and white, I love it. That's a cool one.
Okay, Ryan just put in his Twitter handle. Great. But no, we are going to bring it a step further. It already looks amazing. I would totally get that t-shirt. But no, tomorrow we will spend another 2 hours doing exactly what, Martina?
I think we're gonna just keep on, you know, refining this. I will work on it like during the night, and I have to think which kind of print we want to do. If yeah, because according to that, then we can add, you know, add texture or not, and maybe add some volume. Yeah, I don't know, but let us be surprised.
Yes,
I would
absolutely.
say
Okay,
that.
let's get. We'll be
yeah.
surprised tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to think already.
Yeah,
what
already
we're gonna
starting to
do.
think. So let's get rid of the t-shirts for a second and look at your artwork so far.
Sure. Yeah.
And maybe we can toggle very quickly between the sketch and where we're at now.
Yeah.
And like maybe see the differences, like.
Yeah. Do you want to see it on screen or we?
Yeah, we can see it on screen.
All right.
Yeah.
Then let me.
Because the sketch is still there as a background layer.
Yeah.
Right?
So I have my sketch over there. I can just put it on the side, right?
Yes,
and
you could.
Like kind of compare it. So wait, let me make this not a template. So
You already learned that now. See?
yeah. So yeah. So as I said, like the work keeps developing into into something else, which is vector drawing, but as well you keep improving shapes. Like look at the L, for instance. So here is much more straight, and here we added a lot of flair and curves. There is the V and the O looks have like a bigger body. They're more robust right now. Also the overall shapes, they look a lot sharper, and so I feel that, for instance, maybe those drops over there could even get a bit bigger, so everything will look a bit more compact. These points on the sketch have become something that they have a detail something now, and they could become potentially something else. I could keep adding details to this. What else? We have worked on these cutouts, and now they are starting to look much more consistent. They are all, at least in the letters, they are all having more or less the same value or the same weight.
Yeah, the same weight.
Right? And and we have some ideas already on how to work with this with these spikes that we were speaking about here, right? Like so how to add some details and some curves into that.
Because the idea here is if you leave it like just like a spike, it looks you didn't
Like
really
over
care
there.
about it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's like half baked.
It's crazy because like before, now that you have seen this, then it's like, oh my god, it looks much more better, much better than before, and before perhaps you would just leave it like this, right? And
Martina, we have to leave.
Yeah,
we have
sure.
to leave. Michael is here, like breathing on my neck.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll be back tomorrow
Yeah.
for day 3 of this illustration. We will be surprised and delighted by how you continue to work on that.
Sure.
And we will be back in exactly 5 minutes with Peter Kaiser, who's going to continue work. Oh, no, he's working on a new piece, right?
Yeah.
A new piece. And then in 2 hours, we'll be joined by Charlotte Smith for the night shift. So don't leave, on adobelive.com, and the stream goes on.
Bye.